are you Mrs. Price?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Lulu.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, first of all, tell me, why did you choose to get into music therapy?
Originally, my major was music performance, but a couple months, like 3 months before I started college, I got a really bad injury. I severed a lot of nerves and stuff in my hand. So
I know.
Yeah.
Are you okay now?
Everything's good now, mostly. It wasn't affecting me anymore. But going through the healing process and really having to put aside my career from there, because flute was no longer that big of an option anymore, I really got to think about how much that music helped me recover. Because I feel like a lot of my exercises for flute were very similar to the exercises in physical therapy. And in physical therapy, where I'm concentrating on doing exercises, it was painful. With flute, it was very motivating to do it. And so it kind of started to curve my path. And then I found out that the school I was already into had music therapy, so it just all worked out pretty nicely.
Oh, wow. Well, everything happens for a reason, I believe. Okay, well, how would you describe yourself?
I think that I'm very loyal, and when something is passionate, I will put a lot of work into it. Sometimes it may not seem like it, but I definitely try my hardest to get the things that are very important done. And even if I have to change something last minute, I adapt very easily. And I think that's one of my strengths.
All right. And what college subjects did you like the best?
I didn't think I would like it so much, but I really liked psychology. Some of them were required for therapy, and I just really thought it was going to be very difficult. But learning about the mind was fascinating, and it was just really great.
All right. And which ones did you like the least?
The least? My theory classes. I understood the theories, but putting them to application was very difficult for me. But I went through a lot of tutoring, and I got through it, and I could do it again if I needed to. I would not like to, but I could.
Well, that's good. Do you work well under pressure, or is that something you're not comfortable with?
I can get through under pressure. I'm not very comfortable with it, but we've all had to do it. And so I think, especially within my last couple practicums, I've really learned how to control myself or how to manage myself when I'm under a lot of pressure and not let it externally show. And I think that I can do very well now.
Okay. And what specific goals, other than those related to music therapy, have you established for yourself for the next 10 years?
For the next 10 years, I definitely want to have, and if it's not music therapy, as much as I hope it would be, I want a stable job. I want to have a stable income. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, but I don't want to have to worry about things. I'd like to own my own house. I'd like to have a family started. And I really do hope music therapy is the long run for me, because I couldn't imagine myself not doing music at all. And this way I can help others.
All right. Well, that's very great. And I understand you prepared a piece for me today?
Yes. I prepared a pirate song for you.
Okay.
So I'll hoist the colors.
I'm excited. Okay.
Where
like your singing voice.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw a song at you to play. How about you play "You Are My Sunshine"?
Okay. Thank you. You are my sunshine, my only sun.
It's okay, you can start over.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, when I was sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. But when I woke, dear, I was mistaken. So I laid my head down to cry.
All right, good job. Okay, I have a scenario for you.
Okay.
So let's say you're in the middle of a session and you have everything planned and you're like, this is what I want my client to do today. And it's just not their day and they're not having the successes that you had hoped for and had planned. What would you do in the session to address that?
In the session, I don't want to just stop the intervention because I don't want to start him thinking that if it's not going successful, we'll stop and move on. I want him to have the best success and reach that fulfillment of what I have planned. So I would probably adjust it to make it easier. Like if there's too many options with him, we can eliminate a couple options, make his decision making easier. If he doesn't like an instrumentation, like if the sounds are too sharp, we can use softer instruments and calm it down. Or if it's just not going fast enough, we can choose a song that would still meet the intervention or the skill that I'm requiring from him, but at a faster pace, something he's going to be more attentive at. I'll definitely try to think of all the things that we've worked on in the past and he has responded well with and try to analyze it into that situation as quickly as possible.
Okay. Well, do you have any questions for me?
About how many interns do you have at a time?
We typically take 2 interns. So we have our spring and our fall interns. So typically our spring interns will overlap with our fall. So they'll be working with you and showing you the ropes if you come in the fall. And then at the end of the fall internship, again, the same process. That way there's a little bit of overlapping and you can work with interns such as yourself.
That's exciting. Do you require anything other than me? Like there are some other internship places that I've heard that like require certain journals and things, and maybe even send a journal to the Journal of Music Therapy and try to get something published.
No, we don't require that you become published going into your internship, but if you are, kudos to you, and that's just extra points, gold star.
Thank you. I don't think I have anything else.
Okay, let me just ask you one more question. What kind of work environment are you most comfortable in?
I would think a smaller group so far has been where I'm more comfortable. It's a little more chaotic with a group, larger group, but I'd also kind of like to challenge myself with it. So I don't want to say that I'm comfortable more with a certain one because I need to work on all of it. So I'd actually like to challenge myself more and work on what I'm not comfortable with.
All right, now I said one more, but you know how it is in band. What qualities do you think a successful manager should possess?
A successful manager
Or
supervisor. Definitely time management. That's something I'm still working on, and so I feel like my supervisor should definitely be more experienced than I am. Sorry. So time management, musical skills. I'm still working on some of my skills with piano and guitar, and if my supervisor were to have those skills, I could definitely learn a lot more from him or her, and maybe they could show me a couple tricks and different chords that would be easier to work with. just a way with the people, like really how to read people. I'm sometimes still having trouble reading if their faces are not really showing the emotion. I don't know if it's going well or if it's going poorly, and whether they like it and they're just not very expressive. And so I would like my supervisor to be able to like help me read it more into those signals that aren't necessarily as obvious as others are.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Have a nice night.